Okay. The objective of this project is to deploy the nextjs application, basically which is a backend application using MongoDB as a database, deploy on Azure App Service, using Github Action as a CI/CD tool. Was the deployment successful when we hit the server? Uh, and next we have to change something in the code, and the changes should be reflect on the site accordingly, right? So let's begin. So first we have to create the resource group and provision this app service and MongoDB. I have already created because it's going to take some time to create, so I have already created. So only thing we need to create is right now is app service. So let's begin. Okay, I am on Azure portal. We can go to this app service, right? Okay, here we got an options to select web app plus database which we have already created. But when we choose this application, the database is private, directly integrated with this web app. So I'm going with the web app standalone. Okay, we have already this nextjs backend resource group. The name of this is nextjs backend application, and this name should be same and matches in our pipeline script. Let's see. Okay, when we are deploying our application, this need our exact name of our app service, so that should be a match. So okay, yes, this is that. Okay, we are running it as a code, not as a container, so we need to select node 22 long-term support. Okay, Canada. We are going with the basic b1. Next, go to the database already created. In deployment we can configure it here, but no problem with that. We can also do it later, and it doesn't matter, we just have to configure in the Github Actions. And networking public access on, monitoring nothing to do here. Just okay, tags. Okay, create the resource. It will take some time. In the meanwhile, we also need to create another thing called app registry, which makes sure of deploying the application through Github Actions. We have to give this app Azure App Service access, create a role. Let me show that. Oh, okay, app registration. Okay, here I have already created this git deploy as a app registration. We need to copy this and this, save it in a notepad and stuff like that. Okay, because we have to create a secret of this both to use in our GitHub Actions pipeline. Here you can see. Yes. Here you can see client ID and tenant ID. We can get from here the application. Okay, the resources got provisioned. Okay, okay, we have to create the secrets. I have already done it here. Only we need here is this MongoDB URI and subscription ID. We can find the subscription ID at, let me show you. Okay, here it is, subscription ID. Okay, first talk about this. First we have to create this app registration and create a secret. Okay, in this we have to go to the federated credentials. I have already created this one. We have to name this. First we have to mention the repository name, basically the username of the repository, and the name of the repository is the backend, nextjs backend, right? You can see it here, nextjs backend. Okay, the branch is main and things like that, and just create and name it anything as you want. Okay, here the part is done. We need to now we need to create the role. Okay, and they give access to this git deploy, so our GitHub action pipeline can deploy the application automatically. Okay, here we can find the subscription. In the subscription we can find the subscription ID here. Okay, wait it for load. Yeah, they get the subscription ID. Only we need to create the secrets of these three things, and MongoDB URI we will find it later. Okay, okay, deployment is successful. Oh, okay, let's begin with creating the IAM rule for this git deploy. We have to go to this IAM and role assignment, create add a role assignment. Okay, wait for it. Okay, here we can find this contributor. Okay, this is more than enough to deploy the application. Next, member we have to select here. Select a member, and here we can search for the git deploy. Okay, GitHub deploy. Yeah, GitHub deploy. Sorry, GitHub deploy. Yeah, we have selected that one. Next, and assign the role. Okay. Okay, we have assigned this git deploy to access this nextjs backend application, and the GitHub action has this permission to deploy the application automatically. So one thing we need to do right now is also set the environment variables. So in the production, the build file needs this environment variables, which is MongoDB URI, to connect with the database, right? So we can create it right here. So before that, we need to find the URI of our MongoDB. So we can find in our resource group. Yeah, resource group. Uh, Here it is in the database. Yeah, next is DB. I have already created this database and it is publicly accessible. We can go to this connection strings. Okay, here we got the URI of the database. So we just have to change something in here. Okay, in the password we have to replace with the actual password that we have used when we are provisioning the resource, provisioning the database, right? So copy this and paste it here. Yeah, just everything is all right. Okay, just copy the whole thing, and now here we have to create the environment variable, which is MongoDB URI GODB. Yeah, URI, and paste the value, check this box, apply, and apply. Don't save here and confirm. Okay. Okay, it is getting updated. Okay. Another thing, we need to set the startup command. So in the script we haven't just push everything in our project. We just push our build file, right? Yeah. So we have to uh, set a command which is node server.js, right? We have to copy this command and paste it over there. Copy this command and have to paste in the configurations. Okay, the startup commands make sure to run the application when we just push the build file to the app service. This command makes sure of running the application. Okay, node server.js. Yeah, node server.js. Okay, at the application side, okay, at the app service side, we have done everything. We had configuration, everything, right? So all we need to do is go to the GitHub. Okay. Okay. One thing we also need to do is in the GitHub secrets we have to update this value with the updated version, right? Okay, we can just paste it like that. Can use password. Okay, so confirm. Yeah, that got updated. Now we can just run our pipeline. Okay, just go to here. Yeah, everything is checked, right? We have done this, get app registration, set the environment variables. In the application we have to configure this next.config.js output as a standalone. So the build file create as a standalone folder, and it's include everything to run in production environment. So we have already configured it in our Git repo. You can see here. Yeah, it's a standalone. And okay, we can manually trigger it by just updating any file here. We just, yeah, here you can find something like, let's just give some spaces and thing, commit changes. Yeah, pipeline will start automatically and deploy. Okay, here it's a pipeline running. We can find the pipeline logs or the deployment logs over here. We can also configure the Github and Github Actions over here, but we can also see here it is not compulsory. Let's see here. We might get a deployment and deployment status here. Only thing we need to make sure is the configuration and the startup command should be right here. If it is not properly configured, then the application won't start. Let me see. It's taking us some time. Okay, let's see our pipeline. Yeah, okay. Login. Okay. So the process is currently deploying the application. Okay, let's wait for it. I can pause the video to just avoid the length of this video, but it's almost 12 minutes right now. Okay, no problem. Just we can wait for it. Okay, the only thing we need to say is node server.js, and here, okay, we are copying only the build file, right? So this server.js just copy to the root file with the root path in the container of this app service, so we can directly run it. We don't need to define the whole path of it. Yeah, you just see the deployment. Yeah, it's currently deploying. We just have to wait until it's get deployed. It's still deploying. Okay, it's a 3 minute almost. Can't we see the previous build which I had done locally, and how much time does it take? Okay, it's 2 minutes 28 seconds. It's taking longer, 3 minutes, because it is the first build, right? That might be reason for taking it too long. Okay, the application got deployed. We haven't got any error, and the build is successful. So here we can find it, right? Yeah, just have to refresh this. You can find the build and success, and all we need to do is and go to the URL and hit the URL, right? You just hit this URL, and we can also find the logs here. If anything goes wrong, we can just see in these logs. Yeah, it's still loading. Yeah, complete successful. Okay, wait for it. It might take some time to load the application. It is still loading, right? Okay. Can we just Control Shift R to force refresh it? Just copy the URL and paste it with incognito. Okay, wait for it until it gets fully accessible. With the log, we haven't seen any problem in the log, right? Okay, there is something. Okay, the application is yeah, here you can see the hello nextjs. Okay, here the application is working properly without any problem. Yeah, here you can also see in the incognito tab. Yeah, hello nextjs, right? Okay, so before changing the code and seeing the updated version of our application, we can just check the database is working or not. It's properly integrated with the application or not. We can use terminal. It's we haven't write the front end to talk with the backend, so we can use curl command to access the backend and how the integration of an application and our database is working or not. We can use this command curl and the URL. URL we are getting blank here. Okay, we can reload it. I don't know exactly the reason for getting the blank, but we can also get the URL from here. We still get loading. Why? What is the reason? Okay, it's properly. Can we just copy this? We also have the copy button here. Uh, Paste the URL, right? Yeah, we get okay, everything is all set. First we need to just okay, paste the URL here. HTTPS. Okay, copy the whole thing. Curl and API tasks. Okay, if we don't got any error here, it means okay, the application is integrated with the database, so we got a task, right? So it is working properly with the database. We can also put some data into that. For that we also have command for that. We can just use this post request, right? Okay, I might have here. I only need to change here is this URL, right? Okay, just change the URL. Okay, everything is all set. We're sending some data coding and description stuff like that into the task. Okay, okay. Here we all need to just paste this, and we can just see the data. No, there might be a problem. Okay, exposed, and this is okay. we have updated it, right? This is the URL. This is the URL. Copy this, paste it here. Yeah, it's task created. Now we can just use in the get request. We can see the we have post request, right? Yeah, okay. The task got created here. Nice. We can also perform another request like delete, something like that, which I written here. You can use X and delete and URI task and ID of that task. ID of the task we can find it here to delete this request. Okay, let's perform this also. Okay, okay, okay. Copy this command. Okay, URI is this. Okay, ID is this, right? You can create multiple tasks using call command. I use this debugging. With the task got created, we can see the multiple tasks that we had created. Coding task 1 is that and task 2 might be debugging, right? Okay, we can delete one of them using this command. The first one, basically the coding one. Yeah, that task is correct, and now we only find the debugging one, right? The coding got deleted. So the backend and the application and database is working fine. Okay, now we need to update the application, right? So we have to go to the our GitHub. Yeah, in the GitHub we have to change our application code a little bit. Previously, yeah, let me see. Previously it was a hello nextjs, which is can take something like hello, this is version something something. Okay, public, no, we can't find that in public. Okay. The application, yeah, page.js. In page.js we can change it here. Okay, I don't want to play with the backend and change the stuff over there. Yeah, I can just change this simply. I can just change the hello nextjs to hello whoever is. Yeah, hello whoever is seeing this, please hire me. Just change this, and the GitHub action is going to run the pipeline. Yeah, it started already. So we might see the changes over here. Hello nextjs to hello whoever is seeing this, please hire me, right? That is the next updated version of that. So okay, close this tab. Here we can see. Okay, the video is getting length. It's 24 minutes already. I have to complete under 30 minutes. Okay, I think so. I can pause it here and resume it when the deployment is complete, because it's going to take a long time and the video might get even more lengthy. So I'm going to pause it here. Okay, the pipeline runs successful without any error. So we might see the updated version of our application. previously it was hello nextjs, and we have changed it to something like, let me see before checking the actual application in app and pages. Okay, hello, whoever is seeing this, please hire me. This is what we have changed from hello nextjs. Just reload this. Okay, it is not working, and just hit for that URL. Yeah, yeah, it is the updated version of it. Just close it. It is a previous one. Hello, whoever is seeing this, please hire me. This is the updated version of our application. You can just hit multiple times and we can see the changes here. And we can also see the data persistency, which is directly integrated with our database. We can find the previous debugging thing in our application. I think so the URL won't change, right? What if it just was, oh, okay, we find it, right? Here we got, okay, here it is. It's a debugging, right? That we have created before with using the post request. Oh, that's all for my side. This is what's the main objective of our project, to deploy the Next.js application on Azure App Service and use the MongoDB as a database using Github Actions, and also how to change so the changes of our code and reflected on the site accordingly using Github Actions. Okay, right. Thank you for giving me a chance to work on the Azure App Service. Thank you.